I am Age War, and I am living my life. Hello Internet, this video is going to be a direct response to the video How to Waste Your Life, a short film on video game addiction. If you haven't seen it, check it out, as I encourage everyone to understand both sides of the argument. Either way, I'll recap a bit about the video's points. Once again, I'm Age War from RoyalAgeGaming, and welcome to How Not to Waste Your Life, a short film on gaming. Let's recap some points Too Many Moths brought to the table. He explained that he's played thousands of hours of video games, and that they have always been part of his life. He claims that videos are relaxing, and that they pass time, and that they are fun, which I can agree with. 10 seconds later, he shifts to
We ran short of games to play, but then suddenly I'm 22 years old, living with my parents, unemployed with no achievable career prospects, and I wonder, where did it all go so wrong?
Sometimes in life, people reach a point where they look back at their life and want to change, and that's entirely normal. The Mothman did this and identified a problem. He found he had no drive to improve himself in his life, or instead, he did have drive, but could never fulfill it. He lists music, art, creativity, yet states the bare truth. They are hard skills to get good at, and when humans find things hard, they usually struggle for the path of least resistance. The Mothman, as well as myself, found gaming. It's easy to shift to video games, something to do to relax and have fun. Up until this point, pretty much everything stated is at least acceptable to me. But here, our viewpoints begin to diverge. He blames games and his addiction to them for his inability to be productive in life. In reaction to this, he tries the craziest thing possible: quitting games to live a fulfilling life. He describes his scenario as an addiction, yet tries going cold turkey. As you might expect, it fails. Next, he speaks about his love for Team Fortress 2, and how he fell in love with it, yet then slowly became frustrated beyond belief. I'm sure many of you also have old games that you once fell in love with, enjoying your time in it for weeks, months, or even years. However, at one point, that ends. And while he gave another reason for it, I disagree with it. I think that after playing a game for over 2,000 hours, he finally had enough, and it wasn't worth it anymore. Gaming is a pastime. Much like fishing, hiking, reading, writing, creating YouTube videos, or partying, gaming is something people do to have fun and relax. I actually believe that gaming is separated into another category though, and that is competitive play. Gaming has evolved into two different entities, and we need to stop treating them as the same thing. If you're playing Skyrim or Breath of the Wild at home to wind down, that is entirely different from playing Dota 2, Overwatch, or somewhat Team Fortress 2. The Mothman got frustrated several too many times and decided to call it there. That's entirely understandable, as I've been frustrated way too much in League of Legends and decided to move on to Overwatch and other games. The Mothman is right, too, in that we have a gaming addiction problem. No one should be playing Fortnite constantly until they wet themselves. This isn't a dig on Fortnite, as in the past there were addiction issues with Minecraft, and further still, World of Warcraft. I even remember a specific South Park episode referencing it, so it was a widely known idea. Gaming doesn't have to consume one's life, however. Different people spend different amounts of time playing, and I'd like to believe I spend more than most. I have thousands of hours spent across many games, playing more than enough that others would definitely believe I don't play with moderation. Yet even so, I go to school full-time, I'm involved in multiple school clubs, I work for a few hours a week, and I keep myself relatively healthy. To be honest, I think as long as you have a focus on keeping your body healthy through enough exercise throughout the week, as well as eating the right things, gaming a lot shouldn't be seen as a problem. While I admit there is one, there's a difference between the addiction I have and the addiction the Mothman displays. I can live a full life while still enjoying video games. And to further contest, I don't believe in the stereotype that he puts forth in the video. The idea that we're all 30-year-olds living in our parents' basements with zero social skills is kind of sad to see people still have about gamers, even now. Finally, he speaks on Dota 2, a game where, well, if you don't know it, just look up League of Legends. He explains that the teamwork required causes all sorts of frustration and amounts to nothing when compared to the grander scheme of one's life. And listen, I've been there. I've played competitive games with a duo who were just trying to lower their SR so they could boost their friends. And I've played with a Genji Masters Smurf who refused to swap and was getting destroyed by the other team while flaming the rest of us. The majority of games are decent or good in terms of play. There are some awful ones, and very often those are the ones that stick out in your mind. But in the end, the majority of gamers are people who just want to have fun. Like the Mothman said, moderation is key, and spending thousands upon thousands of hours in one game may not be the best use of your time. But, unlike he said, games can be great for our lives. I'm not talking about prehistoric gaming, but video games here and now. Firstly, the communication needed to assemble a working team in Overwatch is actually quite like real life, as much as you all might disagree. Everyone wants to feel important, and different people have different goals. Maybe the Hanzo wants a DPS in order to feel important. Would he be willing to switch to a different DPS? Maybe there's 3 DPS and 1 healer. None of the DPS would heal, but one could tank. If we convince the tank to switch to another healer, then we can finally get our team to work together as a solid unit. Unfortunately, this rarely happens, which proves to me that many gamers have room to socially grow. In life, the same general idea may occur. Someone may want a raise, another a promotion, another just some recognition for something they've done. You may not be able to make everyone happy, but figuring out what people want and not being a complete jerk are certainly things that can be learned in gaming. Ironically, also like in gaming, as much as a person can try, other people may not listen to or even sometimes talk down to you. But that's how real life is, and it's reflected in gaming. It's not the perfect argument, but I can do one better. Gaming can teach you. I've been playing games for almost my entire life, and I've learned a ton from them. I learned about world history through my fascination with Age of Empires. I learned mathematics and supply and demand through RuneScape's Grand Exchange. I managed to read and write basic Japanese through the more recent Learn Japanese to Survive games. I've enjoyed storytelling and compassion through many of the single-player games I enjoyed playing. Somehow, the old adage is true. Gamers don't have a life. They have many. The final thing I want to discuss is, ironically, real life. The day I saw How to Waste Your Life, a short film on video game addiction, I had just come back from the diner with my friends. We had been playing Overwatch just before, and decided to grab a bite to eat. 4 out of the 6 other people, 7 total, including me, I wouldn't have really gotten to know if it wasn't for gaming. While there, we were talking about a bunch of things, but we did talk about some of our plays earlier that day. Out of the blue, someone at another table turns to us and asks if we were talking about Overwatch. It turns out he had over 1,000 hours in the game. Back when Pokemon Go was a thing, I met countless people just walking around and playing. I remember a train ride back from the city where my friend and I met someone we would never think to talk to about Pokemon Go. We ended up missing our stop and had to find another way home. A random stranger was able to form a connection through a pastime. And if that isn't enough to prove gaming can be a force for good, then I don't know what is. To the viewers who have seen and agree with the sentiment expressed in Too Many Moths' video, I will leave a message for you. If you want to go out there and change your life, I commend you. Cut back on gaming, sure, but don't throw away what connects you to other gamers around the world. and what made you who you are. This is Age War from Royal Age Gaming.
And I won't be wasting my life.
The discussion doesn't end here. Feel free to tell me what you think in the comments below, or with a video of your own. And please be sure to like, subscribe, and share this video with your friends. See you all next time.